Last thing they gonna think of when they see this tattoo is a cover-up. Sit up for me. Real vibrant colors. How did it feel?
Shaunie Henderson didn't say a word. No caption, no explanation, no interview. Just one photo quietly posted on her social media. It wasn't flashy, lightly filtered, maybe, but its message was powerful. That one silent image said more than any press statement ever could. People noticed immediately. They zoomed in, tilted their screens, and stared. Because what they saw wasn't just a tattoo, it was something deeper. It was a transformation inked into her skin. Now let's be honest. When someone like Shaunie makes a move, it's not random. She's been in the spotlight too long to do anything without thought. From TV producer to entrepreneur, and now married to a pastor, she knows how to reveal parts of her life with purpose. So, when fans saw that new tattoo across her lower back, curiosity turned into full-blown obsession.
I don't feel nothing.
You had that 290 ink numbing cream.
I mean, nothing. I felt nothing.
Okay.
I had more snacks. I could stay longer.
Well, ain't no need to stay long because we done now.
I can't wait.
Gave you a new shoulder.
Why? Because something was different. Actually, something was gone. The old tattoo, the one many believed was tied to her ex-husband, Shaquille O'Neal, had disappeared. Let's rewind. Before she became Mrs. Henderson, Shaunie was the face of basketball royalty. Not just as Shaq's wife, but as someone who built a brand around that life. But with fame came complications. That tattoo on her back used to be a symbol of love, loyalty, and the shared life of two public figures. Some say it had his initials. Others claim it marked a meaningful date. Whatever it was, it lived on her skin during a time when their love was public, passionate, and everywhere. Then came the storm: infidelity, emotional distance, and a highly public divorce. To their credit, both Shaq and Shaunie handled it with grace. They co-parented respectfully and kept things civil. But just because things looked peaceful on the outside doesn't mean there weren't wounds underneath. Over time, Shaq moved forward in his own way. And Shaunie? She stayed quiet. No drama, no public digs. But that tattoo, the one everyone assumed was about her past, remained.
A whole new shoulder. Summer ain't gonna know what to think.
Alright, one session cover up with Shaunie.
Got a new shoulder for the summer.
Got a new shoulder for the summer.
Until now. This wasn't just new ink. It was a message. Not loud or bitter, but powerful. A way of finally shaking off the narrative that's followed her for years, the one that says she's only known because of Shaq. That she rode his success. But here's the truth, Shaunie was never riding in the passenger seat. She's been driving the whole time. People just didn't notice. And maybe that's what the tattoo was really about, not erasing the past, but rewriting the meaning of it. In the place where the old symbol of love used to be, now sits a new design, a blooming lotus flower surrounded by angel wings. Quiet, yet bold. Soft, but deeply meaningful. If you know the symbolism, you get it. The lotus flower grows from muddy water. It thrives in messy, rough conditions. It doesn't bloom in clear, easy waters, it pushes through the dirt to rise. And the wings? They stretch from the flower, like a sign that she's rising above it all. It's a message of growth, rebirth, and healing. Not something you fake. Something you earn. And let's talk about timing. Shaunie's been married to Pastor Keion Henderson for a while now. This new relationship is nothing like her old one. It's not about red carpets and flashy appearances. It's about peace, spirituality, and real love. Her wedding wasn't a publicity stunt, it was full of purpose and deep connection. If the wedding was her new beginning, this tattoo feels like the bold period at the end of that chapter. Naturally, the internet went wild. Twitter exploded, Instagram comments filled up, and Reddit turned into a detective lab. Fans compared old photos and zoomed in on every line, every curve, trying to figure it out. Why now? What does it mean? What is she saying without saying it? But maybe that's the brilliance. When someone as media savvy as Shaunie moves in silence, it's not about shouting. It's about impact. And this move? It hit hard. Some tattoo artists say cover-ups aren't just about new art. They come from something deeper, an emotional journey. No one walks into a shop and says, "I want to cover this name," unless they've been through something. It usually follows a season of reflection and growth. That's what makes Shaunie's choice powerful. She didn't choose a new spot. She kept the same place, the same canvas. She didn't erase her past, she layered something stronger over it. Even the design feels deeply intentional. A lotus and wings? That's not a random pick from a tattoo wall. It was planned, personal, and full of meaning. The message? She's not rooted in the same pain anymore. She's lifted. She's evolved. She's free. And still she never said a word. No press release. No Instagram caption. Just the photo. That silence? That was the loudest message of all. Of course, the internet didn't let it go. Some fans claim they can still see traces of the old tattoo beneath the new one, a curve here, a faint line there. Was it left there on purpose? A reminder of what she's been through? Maybe. Some think so. They say it's symbolic, she's not pretending the past didn't happen. She's just not giving it power anymore. Still, not everyone was supportive. Some critics called it petty. Some said it was for attention. Others insisted it was a subtle jab at Shaq. She's already remarried, they said. Why do this now? But here's what they're missing. Shaunie doesn't need to throw shade to be seen. She built an empire while people still called her Shaq's ex-basketball wives. Wasn't just a show, it was her turning pain into power. She took drama and turned it into success. And she did it gracefully. So yes, this tattoo might be a message. But it's not aimed at her ex. It's aimed at the people who forgot who she's always been. To those who only saw her as part of someone else's story. She's not doing this for revenge. She's doing it for herself. Because people don't just cover up a tattoo tied to a major part of their life unless something inside them has shifted forever. For Shaunie, this wasn't rebellion, it was restoration. She's not that young wife attached to a basketball star anymore. She's a woman who's raised kids, built businesses, and found peace in love that doesn't need a spotlight. Her marriage to Keion Henderson wasn't a rebrand. It was a realignment. Her wedding felt sacred, full of gospel music, heartfelt vows, and a sense of calm. No over-the-top performances. Just love that felt real. That's why the tattoo matters. It's not just ink, it's her declaration. That she's not tiptoeing around old labels anymore. She's not erasing her history. She's growing beyond it. The pain isn't gone, but it's no longer in charge. And here's the most important part, she didn't do it for applause. She didn't post it for headlines. She did it for herself. Because healing doesn't mean pretending it never hurt. It means taking what once broke you and using it to build something stronger. That's what this tattoo is. To the critics, let them talk. They're not the audience. They never were. The people who really see her, the ones watching from behind their screens, maybe still stuck in their own pasts, they get it. For them, this wasn't just a tattoo. It was a sign that you can reclaim your life. That even if your story gets muddy, you can still bloom. Shaunie isn't looking back. She doesn't need to explain. Her story is written boldly, clearly, and now, permanently on her own terms. And that, right there, is the real story behind Shaunie Henderson's tattoo. It's not just about covering up ink. It's not about erasing the past or throwing shade. It's about reclaiming power. It's about honoring growth. It's about a woman who's been through the fire and came out the other side stronger, wiser, and more at peace than ever. We often think of tattoos as decoration or expression, but sometimes, they're more than art. They're closure. They're courage. They're a quiet scream that says, "I've healed." Shaunie didn't need to hold a press conference or drop a dramatic Instagram caption. She didn't have to explain herself to anyone. That silent post? That was her statement. And the fact that it got the whole internet talking proves just how powerful silence can be when it's backed by real transformation. Some people will always see her as Shaq's ex. That's fine. Let them. But the truth is, she's always been so much more. She's a mother. A businesswoman. A creator. A spiritual leader's wife. A woman who turned the pain of public breakup and personal challenges into strength, success, and something deeply spiritual. The new tattoo, the lotus and the wings, it's not just beautiful. It's symbolic. It shows us what healing really looks like. That even when life tries to bury you in mud, you can still rise. You can still bloom. You can fly, even when the world tries to keep you grounded in your past. And maybe that's why this moment is so special. Because in a world full of noise, Shaunie didn't need to shout. She didn't need to clap back. She just showed up with new ink, a new chapter, and a whole new energy. So whether you see it as a form of closure, a sign of self-love, or simply a personal reminder that she's no longer that same woman from years ago, the message is clear. Keion Henderson is no longer living in someone else's shadow. She's standing fully in her light. And if you've been waiting for permission to move forward from your own past, if you've been wondering whether you can turn your pain into something powerful, take this as your sign. You don't need to explain. You don't need to prove anything. Just heal. Grow. Reclaim your story, however that looks for you. Because like Shaunie, you're allowed to leave the old ink behind and step boldly into the version of yourself you were always meant to be. Thanks for watching. If this video resonated with you, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more real stories, deeper meanings, and inspiring moments. Until next time, keep growing, keep blooming, and never be afraid to rewrite your story.